Yeah, hi. Good morning to everyone. So it's audible for you guys. Okay, thank you. So let's start our session in then. Okay. Okay. So let's start our session right now. So in yesterday, what we completed, we will just have a overview. So we had a discussion about object in yesterday's session. So what is an object when it comes to our day-to-day life? Generally, when we are taking our real life objects, also how things will behave and how we are identifying the objects, how we are okay talking I mean how we are making the behavior for an object. That is how we discussed, and after that same thing we compared with the Java point of view. So generally in the real time, every object will have an identity and some state as well as behavior. So identity means some uniqueness to identify that object. State means the details about the object, details of the object. Behavior means what object can do, what are the actions object is performing. So like that in real time, in our real life point of view, everything will have its own identity, its own state, its own behavior. Okay, like that. For example, different students, different behaviors, different okay data, different details. So but everyone is a student, like that. Similarly, when it comes to the Java point of view, object point of view also, we know that from the class we will create always object. So class will become a prototype. Class will, as part of the class, we will define always how object should be behave, how object should behave, and what is the state of the object. Like that, we will define all the details inside the class. Simply, we will define all the logic as part of the class, and for that class, we will create an object. And by using that object, again, we will start executing the logic. Whatever the logic you written based on the methods and all. So methods will define always behavior. That means action or activity, some task, whatever it is. Those are all we will implement always by using methods concept. So that's what I told you yesterday. So an object is nothing but it's a so class is nothing but combination of variables and methods most of the times. And those variables and methods will define object state and behavior. So this is all, for example, going further, you will create objects like this. We will take some variables, and by using those variables, we will create the object. Whenever you created an object, how variables are impacting the object, you will understand once you are completing the variables and all, you will understand. So simply what you have to remember all in the overall point of view, object is always about, it's all about implementation of how you are utilizing the variables, how you are executing the methods. That is what about the object point of view when in our Java language. So we will see how we are making the different objects and variables how variables are making impact on the objects, how methods are being executed by the objects. We will understand step by step process. It's not one day process, it's all about so many days process, then only you can understand. Okay, so now first of all what we understood is as part of the class we will always define variables and methods. So first we taken about variables. So what is a variable and why we are using the variable I taken. So what variable is nothing but what, guys? So it's a simple, I told you already, it's a simple memory location reference. Yeah, so variable always represents reference of a memory location. So that means what? So in the computer memory, for example, if you taken as a computer memory, what is going to happen in general in computer memory? A value is stored, Dilip value. That memory addresses, real computer memory addresses, as a human, we cannot remember, we cannot read properly also. Unreadable format. And as well as those will have lot of lengthy, okay, real computer memory location point of view. It's very difficult to as a human being to remember. So that's why if for that reference for the real computer memory location, memory address, I can call it as address. Okay, for this address point of view, whenever you have your own variable, your own name, you given something like name, something like that you given. So that means you given name. It's a human readable format, and this human readable format is pointed to this memory location, this address, and this address internally contains Dilip value. So that means tomorrow when you are saying like, hey, what is the value of name? Then based on the name, what Java will do? It will go to that respective memory location. And from that memory location, what is the real value available? That will be picked up and gives like Dilip. So that means here you are using name as a variable, and it is a reference of the memory location. It is reference of the memory location where it contains a value. Where it contains a value. Similarly, tomorrow, assume you stored 100 value in the computer memory. So this is all about the real computer memory reference and all. But you cannot remember all these details. So for that I given A. So in such case, what will happen? A is nothing but reference of this memory location. And in that memory location, what is the value available means 100 available. So indirectly, A contains 100 value. So that's why we can give any kind of statement like reference of memory location as well as variable is container. Variable is a container which holds some real value, For example, if you take an age equal to 30, age is a variable name, 30 is a real value. Age is a variable name, 30 is a real value. So like that, you are going to define the variables, and syntax of the variables is you can define in two ways. One is this approach, one is this approach. So what is the first approach here? It is for a variable, you don't have the value right now. Then without value, simply I can say like for your variable, when you don't have the value, maybe that variable you will use later, but right now you don't have the value. So in such case, simply you will define the variable, but you will not define any value. Sometimes you already have the value, some value. By the time you already have the some value, default value. Generally, we can call it as default value or whatever it is. So then you will define in such a way. So in this case, I don't have mobile number. So that's why I simply define mobile. After some point of time, that means after some other lines of the logic, I'll write down mobile equal to so and so mobile number like that. So that means when you are declaring the variable, declaring in the sense when you are creating the variable first time, then if you are having the value, you will provide the value by using in this way. If you don't have value, simply you will define the variable. So we will see those details also in today's session. Yeah. So now as part of this syntax, there is a word called as data type. Variable name, we are okay now. So something like age, all these things. But what is this data type? So what is the concept of data type here? It is every programming language will have a data type, and those data types will define what type of data you are storing. What type of data you are storing, that is what about the data type. So data plus type of data. Data type is representing what kind of data you are going to store in a variable. Whether it is a numeric values, whether it is a floating values, whether it is a something like alphanumeric values, or it is only numeric values, is it precision values, is it single character, so something like that. The data types, what kind of data you are going to store inside a variable is all about data type. So that means in Java language, or not only Java, in other programming languages also, what they did, based on the different types of data, they segregated, they given different data types. For example, in our real life also, yesterday we taken this example, right? You know that whenever it is name, you will always expect alphabets. Whenever you are saying something like mobile number, something you will always expect numeric values. Whenever you are expecting some gender value, definitely will expect always alphabet values. So multiple characters. So like that, in different scenarios, different values in our real life itself. Different scenarios, different types of data we are having. Similarly, in Java point of view also, to differentiate all these kinds of data, to accept all these types of data, they given some different data types. Now we need to understand what are those data types and all. So now in yesterday's session, first I told you Java, what these guys are doing is they segregated data types into two types. One is primitive data types, one is non-primitive data types. So when it comes to the primitive data types, so I told you it's a very basic data types. It's very straightforward and very simple data types, and those are all called as primitive data types. I mean, we have total 8 data types, and those 8 will be called always as a primitive data types. So what is the point of primitive? What is the meaning of primitive and all? We will see once you are understanding all these things. So here these 8 will be called as primitive data types. These 8 data types is going to be called as primitive data types, and these are all in the lower case, and these are all keywords. Keywords means these are all reserved by the Java language. These are all given by the Java language. These are all given by the Java language. So now yesterday I told you out of these 8, so I told you simply these first 4 will allow numeric data. See, first 6 will allow numeric, but out of 6, first 4 will allow only plain numbers without precision values, without floating values, non-floating values. Only just numbers. But when it comes to, if you want to maintain sometimes data with floating point values or precision values, decimal values, then you have to use out of this. I mean, you have to use these two. Like that I told you. And after that, char representing single character. When you want to store only single character, then you can take the char in Java language. Boolean is nothing but true false data, like yes or no conditions, yes or no data. But in Java point of view, they given true or false. So that means let's take some examples, then you will understand what's happening here. And then I will explain you, if you are overriding, I mean, if you are not following the rules, what is going to happen also, we will try to understand. So first, my point here it is, let's take first 4. So now what I said about these 4 is all about below 4 primitive data types allows only plain numeric values. Only plain numeric values. So nothing but 1, comma 2, comma 3, comma 4. I mean 1, 2, 3, something like that. Leave about the comma. So these are all values, valid values. No, 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 no. This is invalid. E is there. Yeah. So like this. So this is all comes under the valid values. But if you want to give some other value, something like 89.99, so this is a invalid value. So far, when you are having this kind of values, if I mean you know that, right? I'll tell you when you are defining a variable how to choose a data type also. I'll explain that. So this is a invalid with respect to these four data types. When you are having this kind of data as part of your variable, then you have to go with these two. So we will see that. Now, next question. Why Java given four data types with for numeric for only for plain numeric values? Why they given four? Maybe you're saying like without precision, without floating, you can store the values inside a variable. But why they given four data types? What is the reason behind it is two. It's all about for internal memory management. Because I told you already, whenever you created a software application, if your software application uses using, it's all about memory is inversely proportional to performance. So it's all about, I don't know where it is, that tilde symbol, inversely, yeah. So generally we will use this symbol, right? Inversely proportional to something like that. I don't know. I forgot that. Yeah. So this is what memory. If your application is consuming more memory, then your performance will go down. If your application is consuming less memory, you written very good application very carefully, and your application is taking less memory, nothing but your application is giving lot of performance, more performance. So that is how people will calculate, I mean people will prefer always when they are doing the coding, we should think about always not about the writing the code everyone can do that. Even ChatGPT will also give you code, or someone else will give you the code whatever the knowledge they are having. It's not the case. When you are defining something variables, you should be very cautious, and you have to think always about, if I'm taking this variable, if I'm taking this data type, what is going to be the impact, what is the future impact. Think about the future in the sense, whatever the logic today you are writing, it's not about only today, guys. The same application will be used for next 50 years also sometimes, or next 20 years, assume minimum. Next to 20 years your application, whatever the Java application you are creating today, so the same application will be used by millions of customers, millions of users. Okay, and at the same time the application is going to be available for next to 15, 20, 30, 40 years also. So that's why whenever you are making some coding, it should be always something like you have to be cautious what you are defining, what you are doing point of view. Okay. So now first what I will do is, first I will take one small example, and then we will see what is the difference between these four also. Go to our programs. First, I am creating a class. Okay, I am discussing about data types dot Java, and remove other extension. Extension should be only Java. So this already you know that. And open this Java file in the notepad. Now it's empty. Public class. So you know that class name should be file name for time being. That's why I'm copy pasting as it is to avoid the spelling mistakes or whatever it is, because Java is a case sensitive language again. Okay, now after that, I told you already, we have to maintain always an entry point called as main method, public static void main. But what is this static, what is this void, you will understand after some point of time. And this string also I will introduce. And what is this array symbol and all, you will understand. So whenever you open a method also, you have to close the method. So it's a beginning of the class, ending of the class, beginning of the main method, ending of the main method. So the number of curly braces you open should be always equal to number of curly braces you closed. And please follow the hierarchy also. Okay, see how I am writing the programming, how I am writing the coding, day one onwards, please follow. For example, you can write down like this also. I mean, without giving any spaces. So this is also a good. This is also your program will compile like this also. Your program will give you output like this also. But why? What I'm trying to say here it's all about code formatting. So if you are making, see, you are confusing. This is ending, this is ending, this belongs to this one, this one. But if you made some reason, something like this, one tab extra hierarchy point of view, see how clear it is. Opening class one, this is the related one. This is the, this is. So tomorrow, something you will write down like this also. I mean, once you are going to the some other conditions, if conditions point of view, so you will write down like this. So that means this belongs to this one, this belongs to this one, this belongs to this one. So I'll, so like that, please make sure the writing proper code formatting. Now onwards it will become a good practice for you by the time you are becoming a developer. Okay, see. Okay, now I defined main method. Now let's take how to define a variable means. First I will take, first one I will take like byte, and here rule number one. Some rules I will give you again about the variable names. So how to choose what is the variable names you have to give. Rule number one is variable names should not contain any spaces. So this is always a rule. Either class name, I told you already same thing for class name also. Class names should never ever contain, file names should never ever contain spaces. Similarly, variable names also should not contain any spaces. That is rule number one. So similarly, you will have other rules also. We will see step by step process. Now here I am giving, yeah, now I will give you one more rule also. Variable names are developer choice. Variable names are developer choice. So that means as a developer, what is the variable name you want to give? You can give it, no problem. So it's not like there is no reserved things. Okay, there is no reserved words. Only these words you have to use like that. But as per our syntax of the variable declaration, data type should come first. But data type is a reserved. Data type is always you have to take something like, in this case, primitives point of view reserved one. So now I take an byte and I'm taking something like a also. Yes, I can take. And here, when you are defining about the byte, first let me write down, then I will go one by one. I given a value called as 100. Simply I given 100. Okay, fine. Now what I am doing is system dot out dot print ln. So you know that, I mean, this system dot out dot println, whenever you are writing like this, the meaning of this is you are going to print something on the console. Console in the sense whenever you are executing the program, whenever you are executing your program, it is printing on the black screen, right? So something like that you saw in previous programs. That is what. So this println, this line is going to do always whatever you written inside this parenthesis braces, that messages, that values will be printed on the black screen. I mean in the console. I cannot say like black screen, console. So output you are printing, simply you are printing something. Now what I am doing is I just taken a here and I am printing. So in this case, what we did, in the main method, we written only two lines of logic. In the main method, we written a two lines of logic. What it is? Byte a equal to 100 and I written a. So in this case, overall what you did guys, you defined a data type. And you define variable name. and you define value. And in the next line, what you did is you given A. So that means in this case, what will happen whenever you execute it? First thing is what you will do, you will do the compilation. Compilation. So as part of compilation, what Java compiler will do? So compilation is nothing but Java compiler will coming into the picture. So that means you will see Java C command and you will give like data types dot Java. Okay, now what compiler will do? Compiler will compile each and every line whether you followed proper rules and regulations or not. Public is in the lowercase or not? Yes. Class is in the lowercase or not? Yes. Class name is given as file name as not? Yes. Okay, cool. So open the curly brace. Okay, cool. So public lowercase, static lowercase, void okay, main method okay. Everything is following syntaxes. Opened parenthesis braces, closed parenthesis braces. So like that it will verify syntax of the program. So whether you written followed all the rules and regulations or not, that is what always verified by the compiler. Rules and regulations as well as syntaxes, whether you followed all the syntaxes properly or not. You opened here, you closed here, you opened here, you closed here. Okay, everything is good. Like that, this every statement should be ended with semicolon. I'll come back to this point. Okay. So you given semicolons or not, everything like that it will verify. And system.s is capital, system is correct or not, out.println, like that it will verify. If zero errors, then what you will get? You will get the dot class. That you know that. Now once you got the dot class, what you will do? You will execute the program. Java data types. Java data types like that. So this is all we discussed already. Now in this case, what will happen? JVM will enter into main method. And immediately you created a variable called as A equal to 100. So that means in your computer memory point of view, what is going to happen here? It is memory point of view I'm taking, and I'm telling you that will be called as always JVM memory. In Java, we will always have a section called as memory, JVM memory, and this JVM memory is always allocated from the RAM memory. In our computer, we will have RAM, right? 8 GB RAM, 16 GB RAM, something we will call. That is what. That's why you have to take some extra RAM when you are doing the programming. So in your RAM, whatever 16 GB you are having, JVM will take some kind of RAM memory. So from that 16 GB, it will take, assume 1 GB RAM is allocated for your JV. Now in that RAM memory, what it will do is this A100 value point of view, it will take some binary format or whatever it is. Computer can understand only binary, you know that, but leave about that. Now this 100 will be stored, and for this it will give a variable name called as A. So it will give internally JVM will feel like A representing 100 value. Now in the next line, what you are doing, this is what happens in the this line point of view. Now in the next line, what you are doing, system.out.println. So that means you are trying to say to the JVM, hey JVM, could you please print a value on the screen or not? Could you please print a value on the screen? Then what is the u given? A u given. So then it will come, JVM will say like, okay, let me print it. Then again it will come to the memory. It will verify a variable is available or not. Yes, a variable is available. Then it will go and verify what is the value available, 100 available. So then that 100 value will be overridden here, and finally on screen level you will see the output now 100. This is how internal process will happen. For example, assume now instead of A you written B. What? You written B. Now what compiler will do? So now for example, I'll come back. First we'll go with the successful scenario. Okay. So see here now, save it, compile the program, CMD. Yeah, so my Java program available in the programs folder only. Yes, I'm in the current folder, Java C. Please make sure you are always in the right path where your .java file is located. That is more important. I shown you shortcut, and just follow previous recordings also if you forget it. Java C, what is our program name? Class name, yeah, Java file, data types.java. See, there is no mistakes in my program. So that's why no problem. Now execute my program, Java data types. See, you got the output 100 as per my explanation right now. As per my explanation right now, you got the 100, right? Because from here it will take. Now, for example, I given byte A equal to 100. and I given B here. Please understand I'm discussing a lot of internal details. These are all things will be asked you in the written exams especially. And even as a fresher also we will ask all these questions. I'll give this code snippet and I will ask the freshers. I mean, when you are taking interviews like 1 year experience or maybe sometimes in other companies also. So we will ask something like that. I'll give this code snippet and I will ask, can you tell me what is the output? So people will fail. Few people will say right answer with reason also. But few people will confuse. Few people will say like it is going to compile. It is going to compile, but at runtime level we will get the exception. No. See, there is a difference between always compilation versus runtime. Always compilation versus runtime. Compilation is the first process. Once you written the Java developer as a Java developer, first is, see, there are three phases always. Compilation, execution to see the output. First phase is implementation. Implementation of logic. This is first phase. Once you provided the logic, what you will do? You will move to the compilation. Now compiler, what it will verify is, it will verify each and every word, each and every character, each and every line you followed all the rules and regulations or not, like that. It will verify everything. So now everything is good, everything is good, everything is good. But when it comes to the B, now what compiler is checking is, hey, why this person written B where he declared the B? You are not created any variable B. So that means I'll give you one statement here. Before using, okay, let me write down in the notepad, then it will be permanent. So I'll just explain you like that. Now what is the point here? It is before using a variable, we should declare it. Declare in the sense create it. We have to create it first. So that means now in this case, what happened? You're feeling like you're using some B variable, but where is B variable? You're trying to use some B, but you don't have anywhere else B. You are not created. First of all, B not declared. Not declared in the sense not created. So that's why what compiler will say is, what is this B? I don't know. It is unrecognized, like that. Now compiler will give the error. So that means in this case compilation is failing. So there are two steps I told you, compilation and execution. So in this case compilation is failing. That means your dot class is not going to be created. That means when you don't have dot class, you cannot execute the program. So that means you have to fix this issue. You have to make sure in place of A, in place of B, giving the A, that is somehow whatever it is, or else you will create one more variable like byte B equal to 20 or something like that. Then yes, you created B variable, then it is valid statement. So B is already created, and once you created using the B variable, like that, now compiler will feel like, okay, it is observing a B. Oh, already B is there. Okay, this statement is correct. So let me create the dot class because zero errors. Then whenever you are having the dot class, zero errors, dot class, and then you will go for the execution and then you will get the output. So this is how you have to understand the programming. It's not about the number of lines you are writing the program, guys. I observed so many students from my career, last 4 5 years onwards. People always worry about the number of lines what they written, the number of number of examples, how many they practiced. But lot of people not understanding what they are writing also. They are completing 10 examples. But whenever I am asking this kind of small example, can you explain me what is happening in the runtime level, in the compilation level, in the runtime level, from implementation to output level, in this process, can you explain me how compiler will behave, how executor will behave? So like that I'm asking, but nobody is able to say. So that means practically they are not doing the practice. They are just by hearting, they are just doing the things. Don't do that. It's not about quality. It's not about quantity. I'll always prefer this. No, don't think about quantity. I written 10 examples. Who cares? Okay, when you are writing 10 examples, I'm asking 2 lines of explanation. You are giving 0%. But one more person written only one example, and I asked him something. And he explained very well practically by showing this kind of, sir, this is what happens, this is what happens in the compilation phase, like that. So then he explained very well practically 100%. So then I'll select this person, because it's not about quantity, it's all about quality. He practiced only one example. For that one example he took 1 day. Why? He is trying to understand what's happening each and every character level, each and every value level, each and every line level. So that's why prefer the quality of the programming, prefer the quality of, okay, practicing, not about the quantity. My friend practiced 10 examples, so let me write 15 examples. No, it's not. Your friend may be written 10, but when I am asking something practically 0 percentage, maybe you practice 2 examples. You are very good with respect to this kind of explanation. So you are definitely, you are better than your friend. You will only get the job first, I'm sure. So because you are having quality of understanding what's happening in the background, it's not about what you can see in the visibility in your eyes point of view. It's not like that. In the compilation time, what is happening? You should act as a Java compiler. You should think as a Java compiler. You should think as a Java executor. You yourself, you have to, your mind should, when you are writing the Java program, you should think as a developer. When you are compiling the program, before compiling itself, while writing the program itself, your brain should think as a compiler point of view. And as well as your brain should think as executor point of view also, as a JVM point of view. Then you will get the practical thinking, practical knowledge. That is what I will prefer always. That's why I'm taking one small example lot of time. It's not about writing 2 lines, taking 1 hour time. No, it's not like that. It's all about how internally things are happening. So if you are understanding today in such a format, tomorrow you can write down big programs automatically. Okay. So see here now, I given dot here by mistakenly or suddenly, whatever it is. Now see what compiler is going to say us. Compile the program. See, there are, first thing is one error is available. One error is available. So why? Compiler is saying, hey man, why you given error? I mean dot symbol here it is. Okay, in the Java rules and regulations, you should not give dot after closing the parenthesis. It should not be allowed. Okay, then you realize like Control S, go to the compilation again. Now see, it is saying, okay, one of the issue is resolved, but now it is saying like cannot find symbol of B. So that is what I told you. Now in this case, what happened? It is saying like error, cannot find symbol B. What is this B? From where B is coming? Symbol, what is the symbol? Variable B. And from which class? Data types class. It is saying simply, hey man, you created B here, from where it came? You are not created B variable. Not created B variable. Then how will you use the B variable? So that like that it is asking. Then you will realize like, okay, now let me create one more variable, integer B equal to something like 50 I given. Now in this case, are you going to get the compile time error means? No. Why? Because as per Java rules and regulations, before using a variable, we should declare it first. Yes. Now I declared a variable. I declared a variable means created a variable called as B. B equal to 50 and I given some data type also. Now in this case, whenever it is encountering going further in any place else, okay, so now in this case, what will happen again? Same point of view. Now JVM, I mean compilation point of view, it will verify. B already created, okay, no problem. B already created, no problem. A, yes, already created, no problem. B is also created, everything is good. So that's why now compiler will say 0 errors. And compiler will create a fresh dot class file. And from that you will start the execution. Whenever you started the execution, JVM starts from the main method, first line. Okay, in the memory level, A equal to 100. In the B point of view, 50. And this is okay, like that. Now whenever you are saying like print B, then what JVM will is, okay, it goes to the B, it will identify the value called as 50. Okay, so then it will be printed 50. Now again you are printing 50. Now you are saying like A, print the A value. Then what it will do? JVM will go to the JVM memory and it will verify what is the value available in the A level. 100 is available. So it will print 100. Now again B, 50. So like that, compiler JVM will start identifying the variables. So that means what is the rule you have to remember here? It is before using any variable, first you have to declare it. But variable declaration is going to happen in different places. I'll come back to that types of variables. So we are just thinking about overall rules about the variables. Okay, so on a high level point of view, we are thinking. Now let's compile this program. Java C data types, no errors. I am executing the program. I got 50, 50, 100, 100 as per our analysis. Yes, we got 50, 50, 100 as per our analysis. Okay, so this is how think it. Now it's okay. Now the next point is why they given primitive point of view, plain numbers point of view, this 4. Now with this example, what we understood is these points we understood. What is variables name should not contain spaces. For example, I'll give integer my age, something like that I given. My age, something I given 30. So here in this case, your intention is variable name you can give anything. So that's why you given my age. But what you did, you given space here. So that's why, so see here now, what it is saying, hey, what is this man? Something like you are not followed proper rule. Like that it is giving error. So now you realized, okay, let me remove this space. Control S, go the compilation again, recompilation. See the error is gone. So that means from that what we understood, going further wherever you declared variable names, never ever should contain any spaces. And variable names you can give any choice as per your choice. See now, yes, I given sometime A, sometimes B, sometimes my age. After that I'll give some like whatever it is, integer your age. Like that I can give anything. You can give more than one word, three words, single characters. You can give anything. Variable names is user choice, developer choice. User in the sense developer in this case. Okay, like that. So that rule we understood. And after that, before using any variable, you have to always, for example, now I'm writing C equal to A plus B. C equal to A plus B. Now understand from this also. In this case, what you are trying to do, C equal to A plus B. So here you are taking A plus B value, addition value result into C variable level. That is what your idea. Now A point of view, variable is there and its value is there. B point of view, you already created variable and its value is there. But C point of view, to store the value into C, first of all, where you created the C. That is what compiler will say now. See now. Now see, it is saying what is this C? Your approach is okay, but where is C? You are simply saying like C, but C belongs to what data type? C belongs to what? Can I consider this as an integer? Can I consider that as a byte? Can I consider it as a double, float, character, boolean? What? So that's why declaration is mandatory always. Now you are saying like, okay, take integer C like this without value. Why? Because yes, result will come here. That's why you taken this time empty. So without value declaration, with value declaration. So because by the time you are declaring the C variable, you don't know the value. But after some lines, you are making some calculation and you are assigning the result back to the C. That's why you defined integer C like this and C equal to A plus B. Now what will happen? Yes, A value, A, it will go 100 JVM, B value, it will go here 50 and it will add 100 plus 50 and it will store inside this C. So that means in the overall memory point of view, in earlier case C is empty when you define the variable. After that 150 will be stored inside this C. 150 will be stored inside this C. So that is how you have to do that. Now if I am printing this C, after this, because Java will execute line by line. So here you are making addition. So that means C value will contain 150. So let me print it C as it is I given. So save it and see compilation now because I made the changes. Now execute the program. See you got what? 150 because C variable contains 150. C variable contains 150. So is it clear, guys, until this for you? Okay, so just listen here now. Okay, that is all. Just I'm discussing the rules and regulations if you are how to understand the coding. It's all about not by hearting. Just go practical point of view. Things always will work for you. Okay, fine. So finally, you understood all these rules. Variables should not contain spaces. Variables names are developer choice. Before using variable, we have to create or declare it, whatever it is. Okay. So this is how you have to remember. Now, again, when it comes to these four data types, let's take this. Now see the, I'll not use this program. I'll create a separate program. New file, new text document. I'll take primitive data types dot java. One more Java file I'm taking to explain the data types clearly. Yeah, it's a empty. Let's write down public class, and class name should be file name. So I'll copy paste. Opening class, closing class. In between that, you are writing the method public, static, void, main, and parenthesis braces. See, these braces will be called as parenthesis. Okay, so parenthesis braces, people will call it as, this will be called as curly braces, flower braces. Just call it as curly. Don't call it as flower. Few people will call it as, but call it as curly braces. So here string, and these braces will be called as array braces. You will come to know that all the names I'll give you. So generally, in this case, this will be called as parenthesis. I already written, I think, in the previous class. Parenthesis braces, brackets, braces in the sense. This is called as curly braces. It looks like curly, that's why they will call it as. And it will be called as array braces. Array declaration braces. So that's why array braces. What is array and all, you will understand. But different braces, different names. That's all. Just remember that name, so you'll see. Okay, now let me write down here. Okay, now I will use this program for to define what is the difference between these four why Java given four data types to deal with this kind of data. Now, if you see here, give me a second. So come here now. Now, why Java given this four? So here the idea behind Java is all about for internal memory management point of view, they given four. So that means here in this case, what Java is trying to say is to the developer, hey developers, whenever you are defining a variable, whenever you are working for any software application, so you know that, for example, I'll ask you some questions, you can tell me. Okay, my question here it is date of birth year. Date of birth year. So what is the length of the value? What is the length of the value? So can I say 4? Yes, obviously, right? For example, 1990, 2003, or 1986, or 1950, or 2024. So these are the possible values. These are the possible values. So whenever as part of any software application, you want to capture date of birth year value, only year value, then this is the possible values. So can a person enter like this 2030, so 9 or whatever it is, as a date of birth year point of view, can you say it is a valid value? No. Can we say these are all valid? Yes, because we know that in reality these are the values possible always. Four values, because right now we are in the 2024. So people may, okay, given their birth, last 50 years or maybe in the upcoming years. Maybe your application is going to work until next 50 years in the sense 2070. But even though 4 digits only, even if your application is working next to 1000 years, or sorry, next 9000 years, your application, whatever Java you are writing, still it is 4 only. But people are trying to write this. So that means it's a invalid. How you decided it's a invalid value in this scenario? Because you know that the possible values of here is only always this is what. Now, next point I will ask you. See, how we are thinking in our real life point of view, that is what. Now, age. I asked one person age. Now, I return, my age is 32. And I asked your age. You return, sir, my age is 25. And one more person return, sir, my age is. I'm asking only in the number of years. I don't want any months and all. So, simply one more person return like, sir, my age is 40. One more person returns like, sir, my age is 110. I mean, customer age, think like that. Now, a person written like this, age value is 500. So, in this case, you will say like it's impossible, it's a invalid. It's a invalid case. Why? You know that in the entire universal, no human being will alive for 500 years. So that means what are the possible values in this case? You will prefer worst case. Maybe I think as per right now, 120 years is the maximum age people I mean in this world, or maybe something I don't know. But you will prefer maximum 150. So there is even reaching 150 years age itself a miracle. So that's why you given as a safe side topmost value as 150. In this case, you may consider topmost value as 2070 because next to 50 years your software application, right? So similarly, now I will ask name. So no, I will not take name in this case. Byte, short, int, long. Okay. I will ask only mobile number. I will ask mobile number. So then what people will return? So for example, I return my mobile number like this. Then you will say, okay, it's a valid mobile number. So another person return something like this. Yes, it is a valid mobile number. So some other person return like this and it's a valid mobile number. So in this case, what's happening? 10 digits of mobile numbers. Data is changing. Now other person return 1, 2, 3. So that means you will say like invalid mobile number. Why? You know that it will be always 10 digits in India point of view. Right? Like that. So similarly, I will ask you one more thing. Population of India. Population of India. So whenever I'm in the jail, I hear it as 90 crores. I think right now it is almost 140 crores. So that means what's happening in this case? Population of India values keep on increasing. Today it will be one value, tomorrow it will be another value. Right? So that's how. So sometimes you are having very less amount of, I mean, with respect to data. Sometimes age point of view, this is the topmost value. Date of birth year point of view, this is the topmost value. Mobile number point of view, 10 digits is the topmost value. Similarly, population point of view, it's a big number, right? So if you are writing something like this, it will become a big number. And similarly like that. Some other values also. Overall universal population, something like that. So big values, you will get it. You will get big values like this. So that means in our real life, we are having different types of data. We are having different types of data. Small values, big values, depends on the scenario. Now I will ask you one more question. For example, I have this space and this is very valuable space. This is very valuable space. This is a very valuable space. Okay, to buy this space you spent a lot of amount. Okay, now can you tell me how you are going to utilize this space? For example, you bought this space in Hyderabad, in high tech, I mean in nearby a very reputational area or in between software companies, something like that. Then how will you utilize this place? Definitely you will not waste even single inch also. Why? Because it's very precious. It's very costly. That's why what you will do, you will try to utilize each and everything. Now, one person came, your friend came and said, "Hey, man, can you leave some space for our party?" And he is saying like, "Okay, leave this much area for party. Leave this much area for our party area." Then what you will say, what you will feel, what you are saying, why you need this much of space for party? If I taken this much for party area, remaining I can use for other things. Why are you saying that? Because you know that it's a very precious space and you are trying to utilize respectively. So simply you know that this much space is maximum enough to sit 4 to 5 people to make any parties. So remaining space you can utilize for other things, maybe gardening, maybe some other study rooms or your office room, maybe some other purpose, living area, balcony, whatever it is. But as per your friend, if you are following that, why are you thinking it's a space waste? You are feeling like your friend also same purpose is party only, but in this case you felt like if you are going with your friend approach, you are wasting this space. So and it's not required also that much space. It's not required also. You know that this much space is maximum enough. Maximum. You felt like you will do always only with 3 to 4 people, but you given chance for 5 people. So it's a maximum. So you felt like this space is enough. Because why? First of all, this space is very precious place. Now assume in your village you have this much place. I think we will have in our villages farming lands. So in farming lands, you will not think about that too. It's having very less value. Sometimes you will make a plan, some small room there. You will not think too much about the space. Why? Because you will not calculate. Maybe if you feel like okay, let's see, okay, let's some your friend say like it's very small. Can you take some more? You will feel like okay, let's proceed with that because you know that space value is very less. That space value is very less. So, however, as a human point of view, we are thinking different scenarios, different ways. Similarly, in the computer point of view, also, when it comes to memory point of view, computer memory, the RAM memory is very cost. The RAM memory is very cost. For example, if you see when you are buying the laptop, also, when you selected 8 GB RAM in your computer, it will show 33,000 something like that. You modify it to 16 GB RAM in Flipkart or whatever it is, immediately the price will increase to 45,000. So that means if you are adding some extra 8 GB RAM memory, it is increased 10,000. So that means what you understood of a small 8 GB memory of RAM itself costing 10,000 extra. And if you are selecting 512 GB hard disk, okay, assume it is showing 40,000. After that, you made it as 1 TB hard disk. Then immediately it will show you 60,000. 60,000. So that means what's happening? Again, here 512 GB, you are they are charging 20,000 extra from you from for your laptop. So that means what you understood in this case, memory is always about lot of cost. So in similarly, tomorrow when you are having a lot of computer memory, if you are wasting memory unnecessarily, so your performance will go down and whatever the things you want to do, some other things, those will impact. So similar point of view, what Java is thinking here it is, by taking these four, what Java is saying is, hey man, in your real life, when it comes to the plain numbers, I know that your number starts from the minus values to positive values. Positive values. Okay, so in this case, memory management point of view, guys. Memory management. Now, what Java is saying, trying to say is by giving this four, I'll give you one small table. You cannot remember everything. I can remember high level point of view, but primitive data types range. I'll take range. I want range. Where I have range. Yeah, I'll take this one. Yeah, byte short. Yeah, even in this they also given same order. Yeah, I'll copy this. Later we will use it. Yeah, see here now, what is the reason behind Java? That's why Java is very fast. When comparing with other programming languages, see, I'll tell you that. What is the reason also? See now, in this case, what Java is trying to say here it is, when you want to declare a variable and when, so it's all about data type, how to choose data type. That is what we are discussing right now. How to choose a data type for a variable. When you're working for a software application, if you want to create a variable, first of all, you should choose data type. So how to choose? First of all, I'm talking about only numeric value, plain numbers. Then even out of the plain numbers also, so if you observe here what Java is trying to say here it is, when your values are going to be fluctuate in between -128 to 127, then you can choose byte data type. So it will occupy 1 byte memory in the memory point of view. So that means now I will ask you again one more question. I'll take like I want to collect temperature in the degrees. Temperature. Temper means temperature. Now I want to collect the temperature value in only plain numeric value. So that means you know that, for example, 45 degrees in the summer or maximum it is going to the 50 degrees maximum. This is when it is going, I think as of now, assume like that. Just I don't know exact calculations. Maximum 50 degrees in India USA or worst case 60. If it is going to 70, 80, people will die. That means there is no possibility. For time being, there is no possibility. It is going beyond 70. Beyond 70, it's impossible. It's impossible. Going beyond 70 is impossible. 70 degrees. So you know that fact. Then your value ranging in between positive 70. Some scenarios. Okay, it's all about at what scenario? The temperature value is all about 70. Sometimes in the winter season, assume it is going -5. Or based on the project you created in the India country point of view, I'm talking. So it went in some of the areas -5, some of the areas -10. Maximum it went to -20, but it never ever crossed -20. So even the worst case assume you can take up to -50. So that means your value is fluctuating from season to season -50 to 70. -50 to 70. So that means in this case, what is the variable I have to take? Temperature point of view variable. What is the data type I have to choose in the sense? I have to choose the byte. I can choose the byte. Byte. I can choose byte. Why? The minimum and maximum value for this variable is always maximum possible value, maximum minimum value, maximum, okay, minimum max, okay, the least value, the max value. If it is always fluctuating between -50 to 70, -50 to in between -50 to 70. So this is the least value, this is the topmost value, but it is the range allowing up to -128 to 127 value. So that's why I can choose the byte. Now next, when I'm moving to the short, Java given short, what it is trying to say, the range between 32,000 -32,000 to positive 32,000 values. In between, if you declared a variable with short data type, so it will allow the values in between the range of -32,768 to 32,000 range. So that means 4,000, 5,000, 6,000, -2,000, -21,000. These are all values, 0, all comes under this range. It's a range, guys. It's all simple range. Minus 128 to 127 means it's all about, I can say like minus 127 comma minus 126 comma minus 125, like that, etc, etc. One final point of it will reach to 0. I think you are very good in the numerics, I know that. So then positive 1 will start 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma etc, etc. Maximum value is 127 including 127. So this is the byte range. Similarly, -32,768, -32,767. So like that, until positive 32,000. So this value, when your variable values are going to fluctuate minimum in between minimum this value and maximum this value, then you can go for the short. Similarly, integer, it is 10 digit number. I don't know exactly, but it is 10 digit. If you see here, positive value point of, I will talk first of all. 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that means this is okay, taking up to this range, and it will take 4 bytes of memory. Now your value, minimum value is be going beyond this. Going beyond this, then you have to go for the long. Now my next point is, okay, so for example, I define my mobile number like this: 8125262702. So in this case, can I say this value is ranging in between? Can I say is it true? No, obviously no. Why? Mobile number itself a 10 digit. This is also maximum 10 digit, but it is allowing until 2, but it is 8. So that means it is going the beyond. So that's why in such case, I cannot store this value in the integer variable. So in such case, I have to choose the long. I have to choose long. So like that, you have to choose data type. But my next question is, sir, why? For example, long will also allow 0 value. Long will allow 1 value. Integer will also allow 1 value. Short will also allow 40 value. Byte will also allow 40. If I take an integer, okay, sorry. See, this is how you have to choose, guys. I'll tell you the reason. The next 2-3 classes are very important for you, how you are making the good programmer point of. Now, for example, in this case, I take an integer temperature, like that I declared a variable. Then immediately what JVM will do is, in the program, when you are executing the program in the JVM memory point of view, I'm talking in the JVM memory point of view, it will allocate int, you given what? Int. Based on the int, what it will do is, it will go and allocate 4 bytes of memory, 32 bits. 1 byte equal to, this is all computer terminology. 1 byte equal to 8 bits. 1 byte equal to 8 bits. So in this case, integer is occupying always 4 bytes of memory, nothing but 32 bits of memory. So in our computer memory, what is going to happen here? It is, now this is, assume 32 bits of memory, 4 bytes, 32 bits is allocated for a variable called as temperature. Now in the temperature, you are storing in between -50 to 70. So now, for example, today's temperature is 30 degrees. Okay, in our application point of view, I'm talking 30 value stored here, or let's take 25 value, whatever it is, 25, something like that, 25 value. So you store 25. But what is the problem in this case? Your program will work. Your compiler, see, you given in the within the range. Integer range is what? This is the minimum range. This is the maximum range. You given within the range. 25 is just under the integer range. But what is the problem? What is the problem in this case? The problem is 1 byte, 2 bytes, 3 bytes, 4 bytes, right? Now another developer came and another developer written like this, or byte temp. In his program, he written like this. Now, what will happen in this case? In his program point of view, 1 byte of memory will be allocated. That means 8 bits. 8 bits. So that means in this case, what? He also stored value called as 25 only. But what is the difference between the way variable you taken integer data type, the way you taken byte data type? What is the difference between this one and this one? Your program will work. Your program will work. See, for example, let's take like this. Byte temperature 1 equal to 35. Integer temperature 2 equal to 35. Fine. Now let me print it. System, okay, sorry. System dot out dot print ln. Now I'm giving first temp 1. I'll give you one more rule also with respect to variables. I'll come back to that. Temp2. Now in this case, compiler point of view, everything is good. Compiler, see, 35 is within the range of byte. Yes, byte will allow up to 127. You given only 35. Temperature to integer, it will allow up to 10 digits value. You given only 2 digit value. So both are valid values. So program will work. Control S, go to the compiler, Java C, primitive data types dot Java. See, okay, there is a spelling mistake or something. Yeah, spelling mistake. Yeah, see, you got this spelling mistake. And this is not our concentration now. Anyway, compiler is giving some problem is there. We corrected it. Save it. No errors. Execute it. See, now in this case, yeah, understand this point also. Now compiler itself, when you are compiling the program itself, zero errors you got. That means compiler is verifying in this case this one also. Who given the range of byte? Java language only. Minus 127 to 127. You given 35 value. Then compiler is verifying that one also. This guy given within the range or not. 35, okay, within the range. 35, okay, within the range. No problem. Okay, okay, good, good, good. Compiler is saying like zero errors. Now go and execute the program. Your program is going to work. Now, when you are executing the program, the story I am talking about while the time of executing. By the time of executing this story I am talking. Now, whenever you clicked on the executor, immediately in the memory level, for the temperature 2 point of view, this much memory is created. For byte point of view, this much memory is created. So, first execute it. Java primitive data types. Execute it. See, you got output as expected. But in the memory point of view, in the back end, when you executed the program in the JVM point of view, I'm talking now. So what happened? This is also working. This is also working. But what is the problem in such case? There is no problem. But what is the problem is you are wasting. You allocated 1 byte of memory. Unnecessarily, this entire 3 bytes of memory became wastage. This entire 3 bytes of memory became wastage. So this is reserved. When Java JVM seeing the data type called as integer, blindly it will allocate always 4 bytes. Whatever the value you are giving, that's a different story. It doesn't matter for the JVM. Okay, so that's why it is allocated 4 bytes. But in the reality point value, real values point of view, you are keep on storing only 25, 30, 40, 50 like that. You are not going beyond 50, 60. So then your 3 bytes of memory will become waste. Now I'll tell you one more point. Tomorrow, once you are understanding the types of variables, there is a concept called as instance variables. At the time also I will explain you. Assume you created 10 lakh objects. 10 lakh objects. Yeah, 10 lakh is minimum also sometimes, okay? Minimum. In the real-time project point of view, I'm telling you. Now, 10 lakh objects. I'm talking 10 lakh objects you created. Now 10 lakh into 8 bits. Okay, I will take 1 byte point of view equal to 10 lakh bytes. So that means the first person, whoever is taking, he taken 10 lakh bytes of memory. 10 lakh bytes of memory. His program taking only 10 lakh bytes of memory to execute that. But another point of view, who taken the integer point of view 10 lakh objects into 8 bytes. Then 80 lakhs bytes. 80 lakh bytes. So that means the same requirement is fulfilled here also. But what happened? The person written very clearly, his task is done with very less amount of memory. So he is not wasted much memory. But here you wasted 70 lakhs bytes of memory. It will never ever reusable because you declared like that. So that is how you have to choose a data type. Just to think in the possible minimum value, maximum value, whatever the variable you are defining as part of the program, based on that you have to choose. So the internal impact is like this. Now see, for example, one more person came. He felt like, okay, let me take long temp equal to, he given value 50. Now in this case, what will happen? It's not 4 bits, it's 8 bytes. So you are, in this case also, the 25 value is going to comes under 8 bits only. So that's why they given computer terminology point of view, they given all these values. Minus 128 to 127 value is fixed always in, I mean, is going to fit into 8 bits only always. So beyond 8 bits it is going, they are given the short. Now you given temp like this. Now what happened in this case? 25. I mean, the value he given here it is 50, but the memory, it is total 8 bytes, 8 bytes, but the work is done with only 1 byte. So if you are created 10 lakh objects in this case, 10 lakh into 8 bytes. So sorry, this is long point of view, right? Earlier one is 4 bytes. Yeah, this is considered as a long. Sorry, I thought like 4 I given. This is, yeah, if it is C, 70 lakh bytes are you are wasting. If it is integer point of view, 4 bytes, right? So sorry, 4 bytes, then 40 lakh bytes. See, developer 1 written the program working good. Developer 2 written, developer 3 written. Everyone program is working, but he is occupying very less amount of memory. So that the remaining memory you can use for other purposes, other objects purpose, other operations purpose. But you are unnecessarily wasting lot of memory, or unnecessarily wasting lot of memory. Your application is going to consume lot of memory. So that is how you have to choose the variables. You guys are understand now how you have to choose a variable data type. This is where people are failing. So many people I observe, simply they will give long year, long age, integer age. Okay, why you are taking int always? Age, you know that a student age will be always, for example, you are working for a college application. You know that age will be always in between 15. College means 15 to maximum 40. College student age. Maximum. Or worst case 50. Maybe some senior students are also studying. Then why are you taking integer? If you taken that into byte format, good. Or a year. Now you can tell me out of this 4 I will give you. You can tell me which one you have to choose when I'm asking the variable names point of view. Yeah, I'll take here only. So now in our real life point of view, I'll ask you date of birth, year, point number 1, age, and I'll ask my mobile number. Only numeric points of view I'm asking, and I will ask hmm, number of family members. Okay, your total marks. Okay, out of, for example, 100 marks point of view, I'm telling number of family members, something like that. So you can take something like year, age, number of likes. In Instagram, you will see, right, likes, and you will see shares. So can you tell me, this is all about Instagram application point of view, I'm telling you. Now can you tell me in this case what I have to choose? For one by one, can you tell me? First one, date of birth year. Can I take byte? You cannot take byte. Now I'll ask you one more. For example, you given the out of the range value. Now see here I'm writing byte year equal to 2024. Something I written current year, whatever it is. I given 2024 value to the byte data type. I created a variable with the byte and I given out of the range. Byte range is what? Up to 127. So, but I given more than 127 value. So in this case, what is going to happen? Compilation is going to fail or execution is going to fail? Compilation will fail, execution will fail. Yes, compilation will only fail because who given the rule? Follow this rule like that. Java only given, right? Java only given. Your value should between in between minus 128 to 127. Then you have to take the byte. If it is going beyond that, go for the short. Even in the short point of view, the value is going beyond 32,000. Then go for like this, like that they given. Now in this case, you are violating the rule. What will happen? Compile the program. See, it is saying, Okay, syst. Yeah, small s. First, this is one of the error. I given small s. Okay, I fixed it. See, one more error also it is showing. 2024. What it is? Incompatible types. Possibly integer to byte, something like that. It is saying something like incompatible. So that means you are getting the error. If you are going the beyond the limit, you are getting the error. So if I given short now, I change it to short. Yes, short is allowing up to 32,000, but it is only 2,000. Okay, it is fine. Now let me compile my program and see. Now compiler is saying yes, your data type is good. If you take in short, how much memory you are allocating? 2 bytes. If I allocated in this case integer, program will work, but for this value always 4 bytes of memory is allocated. 2 bytes are unnecessarily you are wasting. As a developer, without knowing, you are wasting 2 bytes of memory. So that is how you have to choose the data type value. Now, in this case, if I'm asking date of birth year, definitely I can take short. There is no possibility going more than 2000 because right now we are in the 2020. So it's definitely short. Byte I cannot take because byte is up to 127 only. So age I can take byte. Student age, assume I'm talking about student point of view. There is no possibility of living more than 120 years, right? So that's why definitely I can take byte because it will allow up to 127. Mobile number, can I take byte short? Very less. Short will allow 32,000. Mobile number, integer also not allowed because integer is having up to 10 digit number only. I don't know exact what we can call it as 20 lakhs or whatever it comes, but I will remember always like 10 digit, but ending with the 2 series. But our mobile number series are ending starting with the 8 series, but 10 digit. That means definitely it is a bigger value out of the integer range. So that's why I can take long. I can take long. Number of family members in your family members. I hope everyone family members is in the sense only your family, not everyone's. So then I'll say like byte. Yes, I have my family 4 members, 10 members maximum, or 20 members. But it's not like in the same family we'll have 40, 50 members. That means only in between one father and mother point of view I'm telling you. Okay, byte I can take. Total marks. Generally, we will have subjects like 100 or 1000 marks. Intermediate point of view I'm talking, or maybe whatever it is. Worst case, I can take short. In your exam, generally we will have 1000 marks, 500 marks, 600 marks, right. So short I can take 32,000. Instagram likes. What I can take? Can I take byte? Can I take integer? Can I take integer? No, because the reason is who knows your post got your share, your reel got viral. You got keep on millions of records, millions of likes you are getting. So that's why long I have to choose because there is no guarantee, right? Some one reel when I posted, assume it I got only 10, 15 likes, 10, 15 likes. But sometimes when I posted one of the reel, I mean I'm just telling you, you got all of sudden that got viral some reason because of the reason and your likes are keep on increasing 15 to 20, 20 to 1000 to 1 lakh, 1 lakh to 10 lakhs, 10 lakhs to 1 billion, like that. So that means it's better to take long. So shares also, yes, your reel is getting viral means there is no limitation, so it's better to take always highest value, in the sense long point of view I have to take. So this is how you have to choose the variable names. So this is all 4 belongs to only plain numeric values, not floating point values like 10 dot price equal to, sometimes we will see in our packets, right? 60.00 price value, product price. So in this case, these values, if you are having this kind of values, then you cannot choose this. Then you have separate two data types called as float and double. I'll discuss that in the Monday's class. But see, that's what I'll close those discussion very clearly, quickly, because now you know the story. How what is the memory management? How to choose a data type? What is a data type? If you are violating the rules, what will happen? For example, see here, a given 2024.099, something like that. I given only precision value. Now compile the program. Short will allow, short byte into long will allow only. Sorry, I am executing the program. First compile it. Now see, it is saying, what is this value, man? You given some double value and you are trying to store in this short. Like that Java compiler is saying. So your program is not compiling because you given invalid data. So it's only plain numeric values always. Otherwise, compiler is going to give you the error always. Okay. So is it clear, guys, until this? How to choose? What is, first of all, is what you have to understand from overall discussion is why Java given this many of data types. In some of the programming languages, why I don't know, some programming languages they will give only one data type. That's why Java will learning will take 6 months, because you are having memory management point of view different segregations. You need to learn everything. Some other programming language will say, hey man, Java is having 8 data types. My language is having only one data type. So you just take some data type name called as something like where, automatically I will take care into internally, I will take care of the things. Now you given where age equal to 50. Now in this case, they will allocate lot of memory for this 50 value, highest value. So because they are having only one data type, for whether it is a small value, big value, it doesn't matter for that language. Simply they will allocate some memory and they will store it. But who, see, a lot of memory wastage is happening. So that's why other programming languages sometimes they might have very less amount of options, but internally they are occupying a lot of memory. So that's why Java is very specific to the memory management point of view. If you want to utilize the application performance, if you want to get the application performance, you have to be very clear with all these data types. That's why they given number of choices for a customization point of view in the Java language. Yeah, thank you, Nang. Okay, so this is how you have to choose, guys. Okay, don't by heart, never ever by heart. Think in the common sense, think in the common sense perspective, think always in the real time perspective. How real life point of view we will see. That is what in real life also we will think. When it comes to very precious, we will try to utilize very clearly. When it is not that much precious, we will simply ignore it. Similarly, in the computer application point of view, performance point of view, computer memory is always very precious. You should not waste lot of memory, and automatically it's not wastage of the memory. It is one point of view, wastage of memory. Another point of view, when it comes to this formula, what is that formula? Somewhere I written. Performance is inversely proposed. Okay, inversely to that what memory point of view. I don't know those formulas. I forgot those formulas from childhood. Inversely, proportionally, something people will say, right? That means it's all about up and balancing point of view. So that is how you are unnecessarily decreasing the performance also when you are occupying the more memory. So that is how you have to think it. Okay. So let's connect on Monday again. Tomorrow is Sunday, right? So we don't have class. Monday we will collect and we will see the rest of the. Now it's very simple. I will not discuss much again. So I'll say like simply float will take less amount of precision values. Double will take some extra values. Like that I will tell you. That's all I will tell you. I will not say like again memory management and all, because one example I taken for a lot of data types means remaining point of view, no need of this much explanation. I'll quickly close it. So that is how I'll make my training. Okay. So char boolean point of view, I'll tell you some one or two real type scenarios and I'll leave it. Then we will move to the non-primitives on the Monday itself. Almost assume primitives are completed because the most of the explanation is completed. Most of the real time scenarios are completed. Just I'll take example for this 4 on Monday and we'll go for the non-primitives and then we'll go for the types of variables. So please practice. I'm requesting you everyone, please practice variables. Whatever I'm doing in the class right now, please practice in the same way at least. But it's very important to understand upcoming topics. Okay, thanks guys. Thanks to everyone. Let's connect on Monday. So I'll upload recordings, documents and everything by end of the day. So please, yeah, good weekend, happy weekend, whatever it is to everyone. Thank you.